Which then begs the next question. Was it scary, hard, dangerous? I'd just like to read a quote from de Coubertin, from George Mallory at this stage. No, I beg your pardon, it was de Coubertin. He said, but when I say our sport is a dangerous one, I do not mean that when we climb there is a large chance we will be killed, but that we are surrounded by danger which will kill us if we let them. Sorry, it was George Mallory. So the answer to the question is, it was scary for me, and I suppose that's not very cool to say so. But there are enough moments to think, if I did something really silly and really wrong here, I could die. And that's a little bit sobering. So you're going through the icefall, you can see why you don't spend a lot of time at Camp 1. Apart from, kind of silly pilot error, doing something very stupid like unclipping and not having any safety ropes on the Lhotse face. I mean, you wouldn't do that ordinarily, but people do silly things when they're disoriented. But there are objective dangers like avalanche, and coming through the icefall, there was a very bad serac fall on one of the days when we were there. Luckily, we weren't working through that afternoon, but the next time we went through, the whole of the icefall looked completely different. Camp 1 is in a fairly precarious position, but even Camp 2 this year was subject to quite a bad avalanche scare. But you really try and minimise the amount of time that you're either going through the icefall, particularly under the seracs, or at Camp 1. This is a scary bit. These are ladders. We got to calling them 4-stage ladders or 5-stage ladders, mainly because they were actually 4 ladders lashed together with what looked like a piece of washing line, and not particularly stable. That's a 4-stage ladder. This is a 5-stage ladder, and they were really quite sobering. This is a clip of me crossing them very gingerly. Yeah, it's quite steep. To be fair, one got used to that after a while, and the reason I was so hesitant there was actually coming back because I'd been in my big 8,000 metre boots, which have a different length, and so therefore your crampons were a different size, and every time you went over those ladders, you had to fit your crampons to the ladder rungs. So when you changed boots, the crampon size was smaller, so therefore your orientation was completely out. And that's an example where if you did something really silly, like kind of unclip from that rope, you would fall, as people have, more or less a kilometre to your death. This is a question I get asked a lot. Would I do it again? And as soon as I came off the mountain, I said, no way. If I hadn't made it the first time, there is no way I was ever going to go back. And I absolutely admire and take my hat off to people who have gone back and tried again after their first attempt. But you know what? Putting this slideshow together, I thought, maybe. Thank you very much.